Hello to everyone out there. If you're watching this video, my name is Mr. Gibbons. I'm one of the PE and health teachers at Lee Middle, but I'm also the 6th and 7th grade team leader. And this video is about virtual outdoor education. We didn't record it on the parent night. We did have some children in the Zoom and some privacy things there. So we're going over the slide again, and at the end I'll incorporate some parent questions, and if you have still more questions, how to reach us. So we'll get started and kind of give you some information. So what am I going to cover in this this video? We're going to make sure you see the team leaders, which is myself and Miss Greco. You'll see a picture of us. We have outdoor education staff that will be helping your students in Zooms. They're MCPS teachers. They're certified teachers. They've been through the whole fingerprinting process. So you will see pictures of them who's helping us directly, and so will your children. And what's the purpose of outdoor education, and how does it align with the 6th grade curriculum, and what exactly is my child learning during that outdoor ed week? And we are offering night activities through Zooms as well. We'll give you information on that. So outdoor education, our staff is Miss Courtney Herbe and Brian Sheeling. They will be helping our children in science classes through a Zoom, and you'll hear about that lesson in a little bit as well. So your child has seen these photos, will see these photos, and they will be helping your child in a Zoom. And these are the team leaders. So I'm the one on the right, clearly. And that's Miss Greco, our other team leader, and she's a math teacher as well for our 6th graders. So a little bit about us that we'll be helping as well with these lessons. So the big question about outdoor education that we constantly have your child reflect on during the whole week is, how do our actions and choices impact the watershed? One of the things that we want to highlight about that week is we do homeroom lessons, and one of the homeroom lessons is called Green Careers, and it's conjoined with the National Audubon Society. And basically you have this guy Nate, and he has his little Bitmoji there. But Nate is an MCPS student. He graduated from MCPS, I think, from BCC High School. And he interviews about 15 different individuals. And these are just 7 of the 15 that your child's going to see. And these videos are like 2 minutes long. It's a quick thing because middle school kids have a short attention span. And he's asking these individuals about their backgrounds, where their family's from, and how did you get into the love of science and, STEM? And it's really neat for the kids to see, because if you take well, you can't see them all there, but all these individuals are from diverse backgrounds, from other countries, races, ethnicities, genders. But the big thing that we really focus on is, you can actually be very successful in a green career, whether that's like a Chesapeake Bay Foundation educator, which partners with schools teaching people, whether that's a scientist. It really challenges students. If you're outdoorsy and you enjoy it, there's actually a lot of careers that you would never know until they get exposed through Nate's interviews. So that's one thing we highlight in that week, is just showing children that this is a potential career for you that can make you successful too, while saving the earth and things like that. We wanted to point out that outdoor education traditionally is where children would stay 3 days, 2 nights in dormitories with staff. They have these environmental lessons that they're going to learn this week through Zooms, but they would do it in person. And really, they do a lot of team building activities. So that traditional outdoor education is when they go outdoors, stay overnight with staff, and have campfire stories. It's more of a bonding experience. But because of the pandemic, we can't have that traditional experience. But there's great lessons in virtual outdoor education. And we're going to bring those lessons to them through their Zooms, their normal classes. So nothing in their schedule changes. They still continue to go through their normal schedule, and now they'll be brought the lessons through different classes. The 4 classes we're going to focus on bringing these outdoor ed lessons are English, math, science, and world studies. And the big focus on this is we don't want children, and we don't want you to think that your child's losing literacy skills or math skills because they're being brought this outdoor education lesson in math, but so they're not going to work on math. And that's not the case. They're still working on those skills, but we do have an emphasis and a focus on the outdoor environment. So what exactly are you going to learn in each of those classes? If you take a look at an English class, this coming week, they have a lesson called Muscle Madness, and Chesapeake Bay Foundation is going to have a guest speaker that's going to come into their Zooms with their English teachers and educate them on the importance of shellfish and mussels on the ecosystem. And through that process, they'll be working on literacy skills, writing, and reflecting as well. The second lesson they'll work on is increase of biodiversity. So they're going to learn about these non-native invasive plants and how they actually pose a threat to the ecosystem. So students are going to, start with some of the pictures you see at the bottom. They'll identify garlic mustard, stilt grass, mile a minute, and they're really going to take a look at these plants and what they do to harm our local ecosystem, and then come up with an action plan and write about what they could do in their local yard, park, community to really decrease the pose of threat of these plants. So how do you handle these things? They're apparently in our society, right? So what do we do? That kind of concept. Math classes. In math classes, they actually follow wolves in the Yellowstone. And it's a lesson about how the wolves in Yellowstone and the population is starting to decrease. So really what they do is take a look at those words at the bottom, the vocab words of carnivore, disease, ecosystem, food chain, and they take a look at how does the food chain work following wolves in Yellowstone Park. So they really learn about how populations grow, what impacts populations and disappear, and we relate that through the Chesapeake watershed of shellfish, crabs, stuff like that in our local environment, but they also do it through wolves. And there's a documentary, there's visuals of wolves. It's kid friendly. It's actually pretty enjoyable as an adult to watch as well. Science classes. So in their science class, this is a live Zoom with the outdoor ed staff, the two photos of the Brian and Courtney that you saw earlier. And they're going to be at the local Northwest Branch Trail off of Kent Mill Road, and they're going to be Zooming in a creek. And they're going to be collecting, as you kind of see with the picture there of the child, they're going to be collecting things out of the creek. So that can be organisms, small fish or tadpoles, whatever's out there, right? And that collection is data. So they're going to be collecting those items, showing kids what they're collecting. Kids will be reflecting of what's being collected, and they'll even do tests on pH levels of the water. So students are going to see what's in the water and assess, is the water healthy or not based off that lesson. Also keep in mind that students will be collecting data. So the second lesson will be later in the week, and they're going to go through a full assessment of, is the water healthy or not? And if not, what's the action plan? And a part of that action plan becomes their SSL hours. So there will be like a time built in to fill out this action plan, which will also be turned in with a parent signature. So the students get their 10 SSL hours. More information will come about that when the time comes. It's not something that's like super stressful or super needed at the moment, but we just wanted to make parents aware of the SSL hours. And then there's World Studies, where they do Treasure Earth lesson, and they're actually going to learn about the watershed. So a lot of students think of the watershed and they think Chesapeake Bay. Oh, it's just the watershed is just the bay. And we want to make sure they understand the watershed is a large mass of land from Pennsylvania all the way down through Maryland through Virginia, and really bring out the importance of decisions, litter, impact, and how things can travel to the main Chesapeake Bay. Keep in mind that the week of outdoor education is 7th through the 11th, which is this coming Monday, depending on when you watch this video, right? And then we have night activities. So Tuesday night, December 8th from 6 to 7 p.m. we have a game night. And the games are Jeopardy, Spot It, Minute to Win It. And some of these games the students have played before through PE classes. We've just done new renditions, so it's not the same thing over. So for example, if you take a look at this game Spot It here, there's a line down the middle, and on each side is many different pictures. And they're themed for outdoor education, but each side has the same picture. And students will have to, it's almost like Where's Waldo, right? It's a very competitive Where's Waldo, and the kids really get into it. So we're gonna do a game night and Zooms with their teachers. Students will be broken out in amongst many different rooms, and it becomes a social hour. We do like little friendly icebreakers in case students, it's all virtual, not everybody knows everybody yet. So we do that kind of wholesome welcome thing first. And then Thursday is December 10th. And I know I didn't put it on here, but it's from 6 to 7 p.m. That will be reptile night. Outdoor education staff, the two individuals you saw earlier, they're going to do a reptile night where they are from the outdoor education facility and show us the snakes, the reptiles, and give us some background information on that. Parents are welcome to join us as well. You can join through your kid account, or you can actually join us through your normal email. We set up this Zoom with MCPS where it allows adults to come. So if you don't have an MCPS account, you should be able to join. I did the cross thing because not everything works in the virtual world, but we have went through the proper protocols to let other outside accounts in. And we just really wanted to point out that we have been promoting to students through homerooms and school, and we're going to continue to promote to you guys and to students during the week next week about those night activities. And this is just a video, and you'll have access to that funny video that we did for students to laugh at and promote. But the biggest thing I wanted to kind of like show to you is we have a Google site, and let me make sure that the video starts. So if you go to Google and put it in and search Brooklyn Middle School, and if you click on that, one of the first things you'll see is our school pop up. Once you're at our school, and if you scroll down all the way to Lee Middle School Orientation website, you can click on it. And you'll see different items pop up. And one of the items that you want to click on at the top is outdoor education. And what you will see is the PowerPoint slide that you're currently looking at. Miss Greco and my email, if you ever need us, that's how you reach us. You can ask more questions there. It's not a big deal. The videos that the children have seen. So this is Miss Greco and I actually explaining the same PowerPoint presentation to your child, user-friendly. So it's a lot less slides and more kid-friendly. That's that funny commercial the kids see. And this is our virtual notebook that students, when they go through their lesson, they reflect on the lessons here. So it's not just students sitting in a Zoom listening. They actually are working on action plans, reading, writing, math. So there are activities for them to fill out. And this is, I think, the most important for children. And your child knows how to get to these things. They've been learning that in their school homerooms. But if they click here, these are the Zoom links that you as well as adults can join for a game night on Tuesday from 6 to 7, reptile show. If you notice that the link is the same for each, but I just wanted to make sure that we are aware. It's the same link, but you can use it both nights. Okay. We wanted to say thank you, and we hopefully that we've answered a lot of your questions, and hopefully we get to see you on the reptile night and game night. Not too many parents asked any questions specifically that sticks out in my head, but the biggest question was, if I'm a parent, can I use my own personal account to join on the Zoom link? And the answer is yes, you will be able to get in. If anything else hits you, please email Ms. Greco or myself, and I'm Mr. Gibbons again. Thank you, and we appreciate your support.